There've definitely been rumors about Fredo and Clavish not dealing with each other and not working. And it's so crazy, like, obviously, me living in Dubai, Fredo then living in Dubai, do you know what I mean? Clavish and obviously his team coming to Dubai like 4 or 5 times a year. Obviously, Dubai is the size of South London, so you bump into everyone. Like when I say everyone, I mean you bump into everyone. Don't ever think you don't bump into everyone. So, and this is why the energy is not like how it is in the UK. But obviously, there's rumors. There was rumors in the music industry. Obviously, Clavish, Fredo falling out, and obviously, Clavish has addressed a few things without saying certain people's name. Now, I thought let me just kind of bring this up because you see. Karma is one thing. Like I said, see, when I was young, I used to be a scumbag. I used to rob people. One thing I was never was a bully. I was never ever a bully, but I've snaked a few man. I've robbed a couple people. I've done bad stuff, and you know what happens? It led me to just go into prison, or my whole empire just crushing down. And you see now, one thing that I live by. Do people right? No matter what people say, do people right, have a clean heart, and just live by that. Do you know what I mean? Even if someone does you wrong, do people right, bro. Since I've been out of jail, you get me? All I've done is been on the straight and narrow. Like when I say straight and narrow, I mean like legit. I have never bended the rules, not once. You get me? Like I've just been legit. And obviously, backstory of Clavish and Fredo is basically. Remember, obviously, they're always shooting videos. They done a video last year in Dubai. And obviously, I think the label's bought the video. Well, the label has bought the video for X amount. You get me? But there was meant to be some capital. You get me? There was meant to be X amount there for Clavish. You get me? And Fredo was meant to give X amount, but he just didn't give Clavish the money. And this is how... Like a man's relationship, you see, relationships are more important than money. I'll be honest with you. Like your relationships in your phone book is more important than burning your bridges. Because for one, it brings bad karma. Like you do someone dirty, trust me, man, it's gonna happen to you. I'm a strong believer in that. Every time I've done someone dirty, it's done me over. Like done me over completely. Do you know what I mean? And you have to look at it. And for two, it's like having that person or relationship, you'll never go broke. Like you can have no liquid and have the right contacts or be in the right rooms with the right people, and you will be positioned in the right way. Period. So anyway, boom, that's happened. Obviously, Clavish has said this in his lyric. Just so let me flip my screen so you can kind of get some little context to it. You get me?
Rumors that I got finessed, which is true, but it was nowhere near no 40 grand, so I just took that weird shit on my chest.
Obviously, you get me? So obviously he's speaking about it, but no one kind of knows the backstory of kind of what happened. So it's all based around this video, by the way. It's based around this video. It's based around this video.
Fingers crossed to be back by the summer. Outside won't be in for supper.
Obviously, this tune was cold as well. Obviously, Fredo's bit.
You can go watch the street. He was fast to speak. Now he's fast.
And you see Fredo and Clavish as you can see their branding is clean, bro. So even in UK, and Clavish is good peoples, like just his entourage, like, do you know what I mean? All of them, like Kirky, management. When man sees them, they're good peoples. They make good music, and for a rapper, that's how their image is meant to be. So for me, it baffled me just to even kind of realize, why have they fallen out? But I realize now, I look at it, even where it says Clavish and obviously Fredo. Obviously, Clavish at this time was signed, you get me, to Polydor, and I probably believe that, you get me, Fredo asked for a certain amount for feature fee and a certain amount for a feature fee, but on the back end, you give that percentage, you get me? Ask for this, they will pay it. Do you know what I mean? Clavish is not signed to the labels no more. He's independent. He's in his independent bag. And then on the back of that, Fredo was meant to send over whatever he was meant to send over. He didn't send it over. That's a scumbag move. You get me? I rate Fredo, his rap stuff. I know him from Joe. I already done that Joe video. You get me? With me, my energies don't. I don't change with energy. So I don't want you to think, guys, also that, oh yeah, boom, Bounce has just got a hate train on Fredo. Like, there's no hate train. It's just kind of just letting you know, like, if you have the world at your feet, I'm sorry, you have the world at your feet, you get given everything. You're meant to guide your youth, bro, and the young bucks and that in the right direction. I've been there, I've done that in different age groups. I didn't have the world at my feet. I wasn't a millionaire, but I was on the streets, and then my young G's ended up going, at the time, my young G's ended up going prison for what? The honey trap murder, etc., etc., etc. And then man had to take a look in the mirror, and I had to think, right, yeah, man needs to change. And RIP to, obviously, the brother that died in that case. And it's like them coming out of prison, and the only thing that man can do is sway them in the correct direction. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, someone's lost their life. And like I said, in one hand, because we deal with that hand where we've got millions of people saying murderer, murderer, murderer. But then the same millions of people that say murder is the same millions of people that saying snitch. So it's like, we understand the internet is for entertainment and real life stuff is real life stuff. Like, we've been through that, do you know what I mean? And it's like, for me now, having to like give back, because people pass, do you know what I mean? People pass, whether it's black and black gang crime, but people still pass. So if you have the world at your feet and you're in a great position, and instead of giving your team 10 bags or 5 bags to go splash on a Mary Jeans or Balmain's or whatever, you can actually give them 5-10 quid or sit down and be like, what business structure are we doing? Instead of flipping, paying money to put in for WAPs, bro. And obviously, this is what Clavish is kind of, in his latest drop, okay, the G Herbo went in. Clavish kind of, it made sense. Let me flip the screen. This is what he said.
Work, I talk with him. Big dog status. I ain't finna chip in for no spanner. Got a show just out of London. I won't.
Obviously, you wouldn't have known that, but yeah, you get me. It made sense a month ago. You get me. He ain't chipping in for no machine. You get me. So he's basically talking about the group chat and obviously what's been leaked and that how many man was putting the money in for WAPs, but etc. etc. But obviously, what man's really meant to be doing is invested in the man them and something positive. Because if you invest in the man, if you got money, you invest in the man, especially at someone at Fredo's level, clothing brand. Look what Central C's doing. Like, why is Trapstar where Trapstar is? Trapstar builds artists. Like, they've helped build artists like Dave, Central C, and all the rest of them. When they're coming up, they're warm. And what does Trapstar have? They have data. Last year, they posted that they've made 1 million individual sales. That is 1 million emails and addresses. That is data. Data, you can sell your data, let alone like that. Your data is, that's your business is in that emails, numbers, addresses. So understand why Trapstar's business keeps on going and going. If they have a one-on-one drop and they only want to give it to 10,000 people and they want to raise the price a bit, or they have a launch with Dave and Central C and it's just a one-off drop, understand how much people are going to buy it and understand how it's going to affect the album charts. You get me? It's like a cheat code. But I'm just saying, when you are at a level that you're at, you're meant to be pushing the youth and pushing your young G's into, instead of come off the block, but what we're going to do, we're going to open this franchise up. We're going to open this franchise. But what man's doing is man's letting these flipping culture vultures, because I'm going to say it how it is. Kick game is culture vulture, bro. You get me? You're letting these kick game people, culture vultures. You know why I know that kick game is culture vultures? Because before there was a Fredo doing kick game, there was a Turk. You get me? So there was a Turk. The person that I used to roll with every single day, Turk was working with kick game. You get me? I used to go to kick game on the high street where Warner labels is. I used to go there. You get me? Imagine that. And Turk was the main man working in kick game. You get me? So when it comes to Fred actually putting money in for investment, of course he's not going to put money in for investment. They're going to give him a percentage of the company, and it's going to add the crazy value. But with us, our team, it's like we don't understand our value. We have the money, but we spend the money on jewelry, we spend the money on clothes, you get me? And we'll spend the money on living in a nice yard that's like 6 bags a month, you get me, on rent, or whether it's that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? This is what we do. But what with these other corporates, they see these things and be like, yeah, we want market share in our culture because our culture is so much money. But it's like we don't understand that side of things. And it's like these lot will come in and be like, boom, these time that we could do it ourselves, own our own IP, you get me? Own our own IP with the man them, you get me? Front up the money with the man them, sit down, whose work effort is in this way, whose work effort's like that. But no, instead of that, man's flipping. And I'll be honest with you, Digga D is making music and he's going around being a troll. He's going around being a troll. He understands that. He's very aware of what he's doing. He's not doing crazy stuff. And man's like, yo, yeah, my man needs to go. Do you know what I mean? And then it's just madness. And what happens is for the respect, things will happen and man will rap about it. And then as a domino effect, it's just happening now, happening. And like I said, I feel it for Little Dots more than all of them. Obviously, you get me. Both of his brothers has passed. One in a car crash. One in obviously one murdered. And bro, now he has to deal with all of that. You get me? I mean, apologies, guys. When I say certain things, I think it's in 19 years, it's 16 years. Bro, I was 3 years off. You get me? Near enough, man's what I'm saying is, you get me? So, but just, you know. But anyway, Little Dots here. And to be honest, these are the mugshots. This is what they do, bro. You get me? This is what they do. Is this madness? Yeah, man. It's madness. Now, that is, but like I said, post-Cold Wars, we need to change that mindset. We need to understand that thing is done. Anyone that's doing that, keep away from them, man. Anyone that's doing all of this, if you're going to make money in it. If you're going to jog, bro. But if you're going to do the post-Cold War stuff, bro, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work, bro. You're not going to get away with it. And younger generation, you're more than that. I don't know. Sometimes the area that you're brought up in, you can be, you get me? We can have that mindset because it was similar to me. You have that mindset of like, boom, that bad boy mindset or proving a point. But you know what is gangster? Having a successful business, having a clothing line, having a jewelry business, being in Canary Wharf, knowing how to articulate yourself. Do you know what I mean? Having a phone book of load of high network people that you can call on and start something. You get me? That is power. That is power. Do you know what I mean? Being like moving your mum out of the ends, or do you know what I mean? Treating your family. That's power. Do you know what? Not power. Being in the park at 16, 30, 40, smoking weed, gossiping, bro. Like, you get me, going up and down and being, do you know what I'm trying to say? Being 40 plus flipping, selling drawers to make £80 profit. Like, that is like, we need to talk about that. We need to go online and go on YouTube and learn a new skill. Learn how to edit, learn how to do something, you get me? Because unfortunately, and what's happening in the next 3 years is the world is going to change. It's going to be some crazy stuff. And it's AI, you get me? AI, and if you're not adapted to that, you're going to even get left behind more and more and more. Because now internet came in, there's a lot of people that adapt to internet. So imagine when AI comes in and people don't even adapt to that with their business. It's madness, guys. But yeah, man, let me know what your thoughts are. Me, this is what I always say. Me, I have my friends. My friends are my friends. I don't need to friend up with no one else, bro. So it's like, see when a person or someone chats bro, I'm not in that circle, bro. I'm not a trapper. You're not gonna block me from giving me dinners. Do you know what I mean? You see certain people, they say certain things and boom. I'm not in that world, bro. I've never been in that world, bro. You're never gonna block me from giving me dinners or whatnot. So it's like, always have your team, bro, and put your trust in your team. And the grass is not always greener. Linking up with this team or that team, bro. There's always a fallout. Always a fallout. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Peace.